Welcome to this deep dive
Oh,
where we're going to explore November 11th.
sounds good.
You might think it's just another date on the calendar,
Mm-hmm.
but we're about to uncover the historical events,
Okay.
the births and deaths that make it so much more.
Interesting.
And we're adding a global twist here with insights from the Arabic Wikipedia page,
Cool.
which gives us a really unique perspective.
I'm excited.
So
Yeah.
are you ready to dive in?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Let's do it.
So November 11th, when
Yeah.
you hear that date,
Mm-hmm.
what's the first thing that pops into your head?
For me,
Yeah.
I think probably World War I,
Yeah.
1918, the
Yeah.
armistice,
Yeah.
the signing a
Yeah.
moment that changed the course of history.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Let's rewind a
Okay.
few centuries here.
All right.
Go back to 1500.
1500.
On this very date,
Mm-hmm.
Louis XII
Okay.
and Ferdinand II decided to divide the Kingdom of Naples. Oh, wow.
Between themselves.
Interesting.
Now it's a reminder that power struggles and land grabs are nothing new.
Yeah, makes sense.
But what's fascinating is
Yeah.
how this seemingly distant event
Mm-hmm.
actually shaped the Italy
Right.
we know today.
So they just drew a line down the middle.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And said, this is yours and this is mine.
That's wild.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that's how a lot of history happened.
Yeah, a lot of borders were
Yeah.
decided that way.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
like kings or whatever, just deciding amongst themselves.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fascinating.
Now, fast forward to 1909.
Okay.
Construction begins on Pearl Harbor.
Oh, wow.
At the time, it probably seemed like just another military project.
Yeah, just another day,
Yeah.
another base.
But with the benefit of hindsight,
Right.
it becomes a chilling foreshadowing
Yeah, for sure.
of the events that would unfold
Hmm.
decades later.
It makes you think about how we interpret history.
Totally.
Like a seemingly mundane event
Right.
can totally have a different meaning
Yeah.
when we look back on it.
Exactly.
Like through the lens of what we know happened.
And bringing things closer to our own time,
Okay.
November 11th, 2012,
Right.
saw the formation of the Syrian opposition coalition,
Interesting.
a pivotal moment
Yeah.
in a conflict that continues to have a ripple effect across the Middle East.
Absolutely.
It's a stark reminder
Yeah,
of how interconnected our world truly is.
sure.
The formation of this coalition
Yeah.
wasn't just a regional event.
Mm.
It had implications for international relations,
Right.
humanitarian aid efforts,
Uh-huh.
and the geopolitical landscape as a whole.
Absolutely.
So November 11th also saw some other remarkable moments.
Oh, okay.
In 1675,
Mm-hmm.
Gottfried Leibniz
Cool.
gave his first demonstration of integral calculus.
Cool.
Now, this wasn't just some dry mathematical theory.
Right.
It was a breakthrough that revolutionized mathematics,
Mm-hmm.
physics, and engineering, laying the groundwork for countless
Mhm.
scientific advancements.
Very cool.
And in 1962,
Right.
Kuwait made history
Right.
by becoming the first Gulf nation to adopt a written constitution,
Wow,
a significant step towards democracy in the region.
that's awesome.
And we can't overlook the arrival of the Peel Commission in Palestine
Okay.
in 1936.
Right.
This commission was tasked with investigating the unrest
Mm-hmm.
between Arab and Jewish communities,
I see.
an issue rooted in deep historical complexities
Mm.
and competing claims to the land.
Right.
Their findings and the subsequent recommendations
Yeah.
had a lasting impact on the region,
For sure.
shaping the trajectory of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict for decades to come.
It's incredible how one day can hold so much historical weight.
I know, right?
It's amazing.
But we've only just scratched the surface.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Now, let's turn our attention to the people
Okay.
who were born on November 11th.
All right.
Ready to meet some fascinating figures?
I'm ready.
Okay, cool.
Let's do it. It's like we're opening a time capsule, right?
Oh, it's amazing.
Each birth on November 11th
Yeah.
represents this unique journey that unfolded
Mm.
against the backdrop of all this history.
Exactly. And speaking of journeys,
Yeah.
we talked about King Victor Emmanuel III of Italy,
Oh,
born in 1869,
right.
and King Gustav VI Adolf of Sweden,
Mm.
born in 1882.
Yep.
Both monarchs
Right.
during a period of incredible global upheaval.
Yeah. Crazy time.
But their reigns couldn't have been more different.
So how?
Victor Emmanuel's rule
Yeah.
was intertwined with the rise of fascism
Oh.
and
wow.
Italy's involvement in World War II.
Right.
He led the nation through a period of immense change.
Yeah.
From monarchy to republic.
Wow. So he saw it all.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Meanwhile, Gustav VI Adolf steered Sweden down a path of neutrality
Interesting.
during those same global conflicts.
Okay.
So very different approaches
Yeah.
to leadership.
Yeah, for sure.
And the challenges of their time.
Right. Completely different worlds almost.
Right. And then you have Leonardo DiCaprio,
Oh, yeah.
born in 1974,
I love
from Teen Idol.
He was such a heartthrob back then.
And I know,
Oh my gosh.
to acclaimed actor.
Yeah, he's amazing.
You're outspoken environmental activist.
Yeah, he's really using his platform
Right.
for good,
Yeah.
which is awesome.
But let's shift gears back to the events section for a moment.
Right.
There are a few more stories on November 11th
Yeah.
that deserve a closer look.
What else happened?
So, for example, did you know that on November 11th, 1978,
Huh?
Maumoon Abdul Gayoom began his rule in the Maldives?
No, I did not know that.
Yeah, it marked the start of a presidency
Okay.
that would last over 3 decades,
Wow.
a period of significant transformation
Okay.
for the island nation.
So what kind of transformation?
Well, Gayoom's time in office was marked by economic development and
Well.
modernization, but also growing calls for democracy and political reform.
Oh, interesting.
So his rule ultimately led to the Maldives holding their first multi-party elections in 2008.
So a big turning point.
A huge turning point
Yeah.
in their political landscape.
Wow, that's amazing.
And speaking of political milestones,
Yeah.
November 11th, 2010 was a big day for Iraq.
Okay.
After months of political wrangling,
Mm-hmm.
they finally elected Osama al-Nijaifi as the Speaker of Parliament.
Okay.
This election, coming after years of conflict and instability,
Right.
was a crucial step in rebuilding Iraq's political institutions.
So like a sign of hope.
A sign of hope
Okay.
for a more democratic future,
Yeah.
but it wasn't all smooth sailing.
Oh, of course not.
This was right after the U.S. troop withdrawal,
Right.
and the future of Iraq was hanging in the balance.
Yeah, that's a lot of pressure
I know.
on a newly elected official.
Yeah, for sure.
Wow.
So the election took place against a backdrop of uncertainty and anxiety.
Mhm.
Iraq was grappling with the legacy of war,
Mhm.
sectarian tensions,
Yeah.
and the immense challenge of forging a new national identity.
Yeah,
The weight of history was heavy on their shoulders.
absolutely.
And let's not forget the dramatic turn of events in Lebanon on November 11th, 2006.
Okay.
Amal and Hezbollah withdrew from the government,
Oh, wow.
claiming Prime Minister Fuad Signora wasn't playing fair
Interesting.
with the International Tribunal investigating the assassination of Rafiq Hariri.
Okay, so bit of a power play.
It was a power play for sure.
Wow.
It's a prime example of how internal tensions and external events can collide,
Right,
throwing a nation into political turmoil.
for sure.
The assassination of Hariri was a seismic event,
Yeah.
and the subsequent investigation threatened to unravel this delicate balance of power in Lebanon.
It's crazy how one event can have so many repercussions,
It really is.
like a domino effect.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's incredible how much unfolded on this single date.
I know, it's mind-blowing.
From the grand sweep of history
Yeah,
to the intricacies of political maneuvering,
it's amazing.
it's a reminder that even as time marches on,
Yeah,
the echoes of the past
Yeah.
continue to shape our present.
for sure.
But there are still more layers to uncover.
Oh, there's more.
Are you ready to delve into some of the lesser-known events
I'm ready. Let's do it.
and the surprising connections they reveal?
I'm excited to see what else we find.
Let's do it. Welcome back to our deep dive into November 11th. It's been a whirlwind of historical events, fascinating births and legacies that continue to shape our world. But we're not done yet. We promised you some hidden gems, and believe me, November 11th has a few more surprises up its sleeve.
It's fascinating how these seemingly minor events can offer such a unique perspective on history. They're like puzzle pieces that help us see the bigger picture in a whole new light.
Exactly. For instance, you might not know the name Ibn Waqil al-Qalashi, but back in 1154, his death marked the end of an era. This Andalusian scholar wasn't just a bookworm. He was a prolific writer on grammar, Islamic law, and Sufism, leaving behind a legacy that influenced intellectual thought during a time of incredible cultural exchange between the Islamic world and Europe.
Think about it. Ibn Waqil's work was a bridge between different worlds, a testament to the power of ideas to transcend borders and shape the course of history. His writings reflect the dynamic interplay of cultures that shaped medieval thought.
Then let's jump ahead to 1979. We lost Dmitry Tiomkin, a Ukrainian-American composer who won multiple Oscars for his film scores. You might not recognize his name, but you've definitely heard his music.
Oh, absolutely. High Noon, the Alamo Giant. His scores were epic sweeping, and they had a way of transporting you right into the heart of the story.
Exactly. He wasn't just writing music, he was creating emotional landscapes. His scores weren't just background noise, they were essential to the storytelling, adding layers of depth and drama that left a lasting impact on audiences worldwide.
It's a great example of how art can shape our understanding of history and culture. Timekin's music captured the spirit of the American West, the heroism, the struggles, the triumphs. It became part of our collective memory.
Now let's switch gears to a story that's a little more, well, unsettling. Remember Typhoid Mary? Her real name was Mary Mallon, and she died on November 11th, 1938.
Her story is both fascinating and tragic. A healthy carrier of typhoid fever, she unknowingly spread the disease while working as a cook. It really captures the anxieties and challenges of public health in the early 20th century.
It's a stark reminder of how much we've learned about disease transmission. Back then, the idea of a healthy carrier was almost unthinkable. Her case sparked debates about individual liberty versus public safety, and it really forced people to confront the invisible threats that could lurk within their communities.
It also highlights the ethical dilemmas surrounding public health interventions. How do you balance the need to protect the public with the rights of the individual, especially when that individual may not even be aware of the danger they pose? Typhoid Mary's story continues to be relevant today as we grapple with similar challenges.
And on a more positive note, November 11th, 1987, marked the passing of Leon Zimmler, a pioneering American architect who broke barriers in a male-dominated field.
Her work was truly groundbreaking. She designed innovative housing projects that weren't just buildings, but spaces that fostered community and addressed social needs. She pushed the boundaries of architectural design, proving that functionality and social responsibility could go hand in hand.
It is amazing to think how all these events spanning centuries and continents converge on this one date. And you know what else happened on November 11th? In 1997, Kuwait was hit by torrential downpours, causing over 100 traffic accidents. It's a funny little reminder that even on a day marked by historical milestones, life and sometimes a bit of bad luck goes on.
It brings us back down to earth, doesn't it? History isn't just about the big events. It's about the everyday lives of people, the unexpected twists and turns that make up the human experience.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into November 11th, I hope you've gained a new appreciation for this date. It's not just a number on a calendar, but a tapestry woven with threads of history, human achievement, tragedy, and even a touch of humor.
And it proves that even the most seemingly ordinary date can hold extraordinary stories waiting to be uncovered.
Exactly. And if you could meet one person born or who died on November 11th, who would it be and why? Think about the conversations you might have, the insights you might gain, and the stories they might share. Keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep diving deep.